Hi, welcome back to Your Genesis, where a new life starts at the beginning. Today we're going to talk about pursuing. Something that we need to talk about in this journey here in forming a new life is our relationships with others. Life is meaningless and lonely without good relationships. Usually people without good relationships try to cover them up with drugs, alcohol, sex. They use these things as crutches to get by. But we shouldn't use these things as crutches. We should have the real thing, which is a great relationship. There are 3 different ways that I see people having relationships. One is what I call, the first one is the narcissist way. And that's simply just a person who all they care about is themselves. They just care about what they like, what they want to do. It's a self-centered world for them. And you've met people like that. More often than not, though, you will find what I call the phony relationship. And I don't know if I really like that term because it's not necessarily phony, but it's kind of somewhere between where we should be and the narcissist. But what it is where you will try to know somebody, to learn about them, what they like, and about their life, but you really take little time in pursuing to make them happy in what they like. A lot of times what we do in these relationships is, if we have a friendship, a lot of times we'll push that friendship as far as we can without hopefully breaking it. We'll do things that we know that maybe that our friend won't like, but it's like, hey, they're my friend, I can get away with it. Or in marriage, sometimes we do that. Maybe a husband will spend money he knows the wife doesn't want him to spend, hoping that, hey, this won't break our marriage. And that's a bad way to have a good relationship, is always living kind of on the edge. So what we need to do is we need to move what I call our genuine relationships. These are when people pursue others. It's not just the fact that I'm here, I understand you, but that we actually pursue another person. We pursue what they love. We pursue what they like. We think about them. Now, this is really difficult to live like this. But let me tell you, no one will truly love you unless they're a genuine person. And if there's no genuine persons, there's no love and real love in the world. So someone has to become genuine. And if you want to have a better life, you want to have a good life, then this is the goal, is to become a genuine person. So to do that, though, like I said, is difficult. And the reason it's difficult is because we usually want something in response, which is good. I mean, you go to work, you want a paycheck. We want a positive response to something. And oftentimes, if we try to truly be genuine with many people, because they're not genuine or they're narcissistic, we don't feel the love being reciprocated back. So the way you end up teaching yourself to become genuine is not with people, but with God. And so what we do is we learn what God likes. We pursue God. And I guarantee you this, if you pursue God in time, and I emphasize that, in time, you will start to understand and to feel God's love. You will start to know how God loves you. There will be a reciprocation. God will show it back. It won't be instant. Maybe it might be more instant, but nevertheless, you pursue God, I guarantee you that you will start to feel it come back. Now, you can say you love God. I can say I love my wife. I can say I love my children. You can say you love your friend, your parents, whatever. You can say you love God. But the fact is unless you respond to them the way they like to be responded to, you truly are not loving them. You're just appeasing them to get by. You're just appeasing them so that you don't have stress in your life. When you truly love someone, you're going to do what they like. You're going to do what they want. I've known people who like to give gifts, but the thing is they give gifts that make them happy, not necessarily what makes that person happy. I mean, you may have a friend who could use some dental work or go to the doctor, but you buy them, some frivolous gift because it makes them feel good, and they're thinking, wow, that's nice, but boy, I could use something more practical. But we don't like the practical thing doesn't make us happy. You see what I'm saying? So what we need to do is we need to learn how to pursue somebody. We need to learn about them. And the way you do that with God is to know God. And the way you know God is going to be through His Word, through the Bible. And so what needs to take place is if we need to understand the person who we're pursuing, that's what we're doing. Really in pursuing, we're trying to figure out what they like and then do those things. And so in pursuing God, we need to figure out what He likes. And I believe that's contained in the Bible. Now, like I said in the last one, it seems like every time you mention the Bible these days, people's eyes roll back. They don't want to hear it. They have all these prejudices against it. But we shouldn't be doing that, okay? We should be open-minded. And here's the thing. The most common criticism I hear of the Bible is, well, it was just written by man. Yeah? I mean, it's like, well, of course. It was written to man, so it was written by man. Now, what I mean by that is, in fact, you can do this. You could pause this for a minute in just a second here and think like I did last time. I always like you to think. Think to yourself, if God was to give us a letter or some communication that would tell the world, not just you, but would be able to tell all of humanity what He is and what he thinks of us, how would He do that? That would be believable. So if you want, just pause this for a second. Think, what method could God have used to give us information about Himself that would be believable? So pause it and think about that. I don't know if you guys paused it again. I hope someone did. I hope you're being thoughtful. But as far as I've thought, is I don't see any other way. I mean, you do have single people who say they've gotten a revelation from God. Maybe they've found something that they say is from God, or they see a sign in the clouds. But, how do you verify those? How do you know that those are any more true than the Bible? And so, man could say, I got this message from God, but that's where it needs to be tested. And the Bible has been tested for thousands of years. And today, still, people have a tremendous amount of faith in it, including myself. And there's a ton of good information about knowing why the Bible should be trusted. But I believe if you continue with me through this series, you're going to see for yourself how unbelievable the Bible is, how incredible it is, and that there is an author behind it, not just a man. The other criticism that is geared towards the Bible is that it was written a long time ago by ignorant men, by people from the Bronze Age. Now, I just have to say that is a very arrogant statement. A very arrogant statement. It's to suppose that I'm superior to other people because of who I am. Now, today we have more technology than any other time in the world that we're aware of. I'm sure we do. But that technology, the reason we have the technology is because it was built on men learning in the past. And the way anything kind of works like that is, at the beginning, it's much more difficult to find things. But as you find one piece and then another piece, the things start falling into place, just like a big puzzle. When you begin a puzzle, you have all these pieces and you can't make heads or tails of them. But as the pieces come together, they start coming together faster. And so what I'm saying is, there were people who were figuring out mathematics before Christ, and other scientific discoveries throughout the centuries. And because of their discoveries, we've been able to put it together. And now it seems to move faster because we have more pieces to the puzzle. But even today, we have, like in Hong Kong, the Chinese believe heavily in dragons, and their life is governed around the dragons. But that doesn't mean they're stupid people. In fact, Hong Kong's a very rich and successful city, very progressive city. So you can't relate because of the way different cultures are that makes them stupid. That's just, you're arrogant, you're conceited, and you're not willing to look into the lives and the world of other people and understand it from their eyes. And so that's what you need to do with the Bible. Because remember, God isn't just loved you. God just doesn't love the 21st century man. God loves the man 1000 BC, 3000 BC. God loved all humans, and so he was willing to give his word to all people. The other thing about this is, it is as obvious can be that man has not changed. Our technology has changed, but we still fight wars. There's still crime, there's still hatred, there's still murders, there's still rapes, there's still abuse. The human heart has not changed. So what the Bible teaches is still as relevant today as it always has been. And it is the Bible that deals with these issues of the heart. The Bible's not talking about science and technology. That's not its topic. That's not what it was written for. It was written to deal with our hearts. So as technology moves along, that's fine. That's separate. It may be parallel, but it's separate from what's going on in the human heart. And so you cannot join technology and man's knowledge with the Bible. There are two different pathways. There are two different things that are running kind of linear, but man has been the same. And we may trick ourselves each generation. You look back through history, reading history, and people think they've arrived. And you've seen some, you think of Hitler with the Aryan race, and, just all on. I mean, the Roman Empire and so forth, where each culture has think they've reached their peak of greatness, and we find out that nothing has changed. And so this is just something I really want us to think about as we move on into our next series. The next one, what I want to do kind of is look at which ties into this, is our philosophy about the Bible. Because, well, I'll get into that next time. But anyway, what I'd like you to do is like this video, please do. I would also like you to subscribe to my channel, push the notification button so when the next come out, you'll know it, and share it with others. I really am excited about this. I really think you're going to see things you've never seen before. Your life's going to change if you just keep following along with me. I don't want to make these long and drawn out, so I hope you have a good day. Thank you for joining me, and it's been good. Bye.